I'll proceed to a round of questions, 5 minutes for each member here, and I'm going to start with myself. Ms. Steele, I think most everybody on this committee has gone to Korea and stood on the DMZ and looked one direction and then the other direction. And you can't help but think about what happened there in Korea and on the Korean peninsula after World War II as the world was readjusting itself to a new world order, and people were deciding what kind of government they're going to have. On the one side, you got this autocracy that is incredibly closed society with no rule of law and an incredibly difficult standard of living and a communist country. On the other side, you have a robust democracy and people have a high standard of living and obviously it's a capitalist free market system. And you look at those two, and you think, how could any human being stand here and look at this and not easily see which way is better? To me, that was that is just staggering. And here you had a really monolithic population of people who occupied the peninsula, all one country, all one race, one group of people, and yet one went one way and one went the other, and half of them living a horrible life right now, and the other really living a life that isn't much different than here in America as I travel around South Korea. So in any event, the thing that struck me is over the years back, each country had a reunification department, if you would. And now that's gone. Each of them have disbanded that, and it seems like you can't pick up the paper every day or turn on TV or the internet and not see that that North Korea is challenging more and more South Korea. It's not a pretty picture, and it really isn't very encouraging for the future. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
As I said on the opening statement that my both parents fled from North Korea from communism. They lost everything there, and they came down to South Korea, and they rebuilt. And then my father became diplomat, and then went to Japan, and then we came to United States. We all know that how many people suffering in North Korea. That's why we need very strong alliance between United States and Japan and South Korea. It's not just protecting South Korea, but it's protecting all Indo-Pacific region. So that's why we have to have a strong alliance between United States, and United States been there. And our relationship is really ironclad, and we have a very, very strong relationship. It's not just military-wise, but economy side, same thing too. So because of US's help, that Korean economy just grew top in the world for top 6. So I'm very proud that if confirmed, that love to be in South Korea. We're gonna work better, and we're gonna work together, and we're gonna have stronger relationship between South Korea and United States.
Well said. Thank you so much. Mr. Bratt, the AUKUS agreement has really reinvigorated the relationship between the United States and Australia, and I'm sure you followed that. There's a lot of us that have been involved in that from the very beginning and are very enthusiastic about it. Then following that, of course, we've got the new critical minerals agreement, which I'm sure you're aware of. That's something that is really necessary for us, for the free world, really. And again, that has helped reinvigorate our relationship. I know Australia's got some, we think we have a China problem here. They got a real China problem there. Your thoughts?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Let me just start off with the rare mineral piece. I'm not a chemist, but I'm trying to get up to speed on all that. I talked to the heads of national security, and they put it in terms that I had not yet heard, right? So if you look at the economic value of the rare earth minerals, et cetera, it doesn't really show up. But what is so important about the rare earths, the minerals, and the processing is that they're vital to every aspect of the economy, every aspect of our economy. not just the F-35s, not just the submarine engines, your lawnmower engine, et cetera, right on down the line. And the impact of if we get into an adversarial position on that with some of the countries around the world right now, that can have, the loss of that trading of rare minerals can have a significant GDP effect that goes beyond a few percent. And so I think it's important to convey that to the American people, as you said, the importance of that, and convey how important Australia is to us. They're mining experts, they're processing experts, they're refining experts, they have engineers. We need to get that skill base going over here and invest beyond STEM into that kind of engineering and the processing of the rare earths, where China's got 90% of the processing around the world. And so I'm going to work on that. Will probably be one of my main priorities, working with the mission and the embassy. And then on AUKUS, as you've just laid out, and I see my Senator Kane walking in the room, the AUKUS I know is vital in his work. That's huge. That's just not a submarine deal. It's, that's 3 submarines over a decade, and then 3 more down in Adelaide, built with the UK, and interoperability and all this kind of thing. Nuclear-powered conventional arms is important in that respect. Australia's already put over $2 billion into industrial production on AUKUS, and that doesn't even include the subs yet. And so, but the key, I think, to that piece is it is a model for multilateral coordination with the UK as we pivot to the Pacific. Now we have the UK with Australia, with the United States, with interoperability with the Marines. More forces are on the way. We have to work that out with Australia. But that AUKUS framework is much more than just industrial, economics. It's security for the South Pacific. And right now we're having maritime challenges across the board throughout the islands, all the way through the Marianas, up through South Korea, the Philippines. And so I look forward to working with this committee on those issues.
I think you've got a good understanding of this, and particularly your focus on the critical minerals. I was really surprised when the Aussies tell us they got like 53 of the 55 we're looking for there, and they've got processing figured out, which is going to be really important to us. Senator Shaheen.